Hey guys, this is day one in my quest to make $1 million in 30 days. So currently in my bank account, I have less than $1. I am working a job that I'm able to bring in an income of between $2,500 and $3,500 a month, and I am also a father of two. Currently, my wife is about to graduate with her master's degree, so she's in college, and I'm 35 years old. My name's Corey Fisher. I have a 2-year-old boy. We have a 9-year-old son. We have a 12-year-old daughter, and we have a 14-year-old daughter, and we also have an 18-year-old daughter. Currently, we're living in a townhome. And the townhome is worth about $450,000. And we still have over $200,000 to pay off on that. So that's about $200,000 that I can add in as far as leverage. And so what I've been doing a little bit to prepare. What I did was I read a book, actually listened to a book while I've been driving, called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. It's by an author, T. Harv Eker. Listened to that a couple times. In it says to make sure you track your money. And most of it is, of course, mindset stuff. So there's 18 different things that it talks about that you need to be aware of that I need to be aware of in order to succeed. And the very first one is to believe that I am worth making $1 million. So believe that I am. Anyway, a lot of it are beliefs, of course. So moving forward, after I read that book and listened to that book, I listened to another book by an author named Dr. Joe Dispenza. Many of you have probably heard of him. He originally got famous by talking about how to cure dementia and Alzheimer's by eating different foods. And then from there has moved to more supernatural type stuff, and there's he does tons of brain scans and stuff like that. He's a neuroscientist and a metaphysicist. So listening to that one, I actually was listening to that one at the highest speed the Audible would let me go, which is 3.5 speed. I couldn't hardly understand anything when I was listening to it that fast. I typically listen to stuff at 1.5 speed, sometimes 2 speed if I'm trying to hurry. So, after, listening to after believing that I could and would understand what I'm listening to, even at that speed, when I listened to it the second time through at that speed, I was actually nearly getting every word. And so, listen to that. I've also gone to a networking event, free networking events. One of them wasn't free, but I was able to go for free because my brother gave me a ticket, and it was to an event called D2D Con, which is a door-to-door agent convention, like a door-to-door salesman convention, and where they hand out awards for top sales guys in the nation in different fields and stuff like that. So in there's a lot of seminars going on. It's a 3-day event, and it was actually just within 30 miles of my house, so that was very nice. I was able to go back home every night and continue to go the next day. While I was there, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about self-discipline. I learned a lot about how to manage a team, manage a business, and I've never managed a business before. I don't even have my own business. So technically I've started a business at one point, but it was only going for about 3 weeks before I changed my mind and decided to do something else. So from there, I have started diving into using Dr. Joe Dispenza's theology, as well as remembering what I've learned in the book of The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and by T. Harv Eker. And as I've been doing that, another thing that, well, this is probably the first thing. It says you need to think bigger. You need to think bigger. So, we have some billionaires in the world now, and this is kind of how it opened my mind. If a billionaire is teaching someone who's making $100,000 a year how to earn $1 million a year, that's 10 times their income. That's the same as the person making $100,000 a year teaching someone how to make $1 a year when they're only making 10 cents a year. Because a billion is 100 is 1,000 million. Well, 1,000 million, that would bring it down to 1,000 million. $1,000 million would bring it down to 100. If you were thinking about 100,000, then bring it down to 100, and and then it'd be like teaching someone how to make $100 a year when they're making $10 a year. So I need to rephrase that. There are billionaires in the world now, and a billionaire teaching somebody how to go from $100,000 a year to $1 million a year, which is 10 times their income, is the same as someone who's making $100,000 a year teaching somebody how to make $100 a year when they're used to making $10 a year. So really, that's why he says the first thing that you have to do is you have to open your eyes. Like, you have to see that there's a lot more money in the world than you are currently seeing. If you imagine teaching somebody how to make $100 a year that is only making $10 a year. If they're only making $10 a year, then they're making, what's $10 a year divided by 50, because that is how many weeks, 52 is how many weeks they have in a year, but 50 is a little bit easier to do the math on. So, you know, if someone's making $10 a year and you divide that by 50 weeks, 10 divided by 5 is 2, you know, they're making $10 a year. If that's what they're used to making, then they're actually making like $10 a year, they're making $1. $10 a year, they're making $1 every 10 months. Well, they're making $1 a month, basically. And then a month has 4. That's 25 cents. So now 25 cents times 5 . 25 cents times 5 is $1.25. $1.25 times 10 is $10.25. So it's less than 25 cents. That's probably 20 cents. So 20 cents times 5 is $1. So they're making 20 cents a week. So imagine you're making 20 cents a week. You're making 20 cents a week. Let's say you're working 6 days a week. That's less than a nickel a day. Okay? Anyway, let's just stick with 20 cents a week. 20 cents a week. That's why this part is so important. You have to think bigger. I have to think bigger here. I've been making less than $50,000 a year. I want to make $100,000. I want to make $1 million, right? I've been making $50,000, less than $50,000 a year. I want to make $1 million. So, first thing I have to do is I have to be more aware of the money that is around me. Way more aware of the money that's around me. And that's number one. If I'm not aware of the money around me, then I'm not even gonna see how I can get it, you know? But also imagine someone making 20 cents a week. If you were to help them make $100 a year when they're making 20 cents a week, how easy would that be? I mean, sure, you could just give them $100, then they'll make $100 in a day. You can even offer them a job where you're paying them $100 a day, you know, and then they'll be making $100 a year. And for you making 100,000, I mean, $100. Like you would literally want to hire them just so that you could pay them and get them to $100 in a year. I would anyway. But then that keeps them from opening their eyes and seeing that opportunity that you can do for them is available from a lot of other people as well. So they have to open their eyes. They have to see that there's money everywhere. I mean, if you're just looking on the ground as you're walking, you'll find a quarter within a week, you know? Then they'd be making more money than they are right now already. Anyway, so that's number one.